Everyone loves a good wedding celebration, gathering together with family and friends, having a good cause to celebrate. It's always a good time. But in this time and place of Jesus, they would celebrate weddings for a week, even sometimes longer, which I have a lot of questions about that. Did they do their chores? Did they do some work during the day and then party all night? I don't know. I'm sure most of the people lived close to the celebration, but Jesus and his mother, they did not live in Cana. And so it would be a lot different. We're very efficient. We're like, okay, a couple hours, that's enough, time to get back to work. But they celebrated weddings for many days. And this is one of the most famous weddings of all time because it's recorded in the Bible. But one thing that we don't know about this wedding is who got married. We're never mentioned who the bride is and who the groom is. And that's because the most important people in this story are Jesus and his mother. And today I just want to think about a little bit how Mary can show us a model of prayer. Mary can give us a model of prayer. First of all, she has a great amount of faith. When the wine ran short, it was a humanly impossible situation. They couldn't just run down the street to the store and buy more wine. But Mary, knowing that her son was also the Son of God, God incarnate, he could do something about this. And so she went to him. And she knew that nothing was impossible for God. That's what the angel told her at the Annunciation. And then we see how simple Mary's request was. She said, they have no wine. In fact, it wasn't a request. It was just a statement. They have no wine. And how different this is from the way we pray at times. We will pray and we will say, God, I want you to do A, B, and C. And if not that, D, E, and F, right? We tell him exactly what we want. But it's also good at times just to state the facts. I try to do this sometimes, say, Lord, I'm feeling anxious right now. Or we could say, I'm angry. I have bitterness in my heart. Or my marriage is at a challenging point. Or I feel spiritually dry. Or something like that. And just trusting that he will take that situation and make something of it. She also teaches us that we need to listen and follow what we hear. She tells the servers, do whatever he tells you. This is the last statement that Mary makes in all of the scriptures. Do whatever he tells you. And this is like a norm for our life. What is most important is to listen to and do whatever Jesus tells us. And so when we go to pray, we need to be attentive. We don't just need to talk, we also need to listen and see, maybe the Lord is asking something of me. One writer said, happy are those who are ready, like the servants at Cana, for they will see the miracles of God. If we're ready to do what Jesus asks of us, then we will see his glory in our lives. The last thing is that Mary teaches us that we should rejoice in God's goodness. We see that in this situation, Jesus not only made wine, he made good wine. And he didn't just make a little bit of wine. He made at least 120 gallons, 900 bottles of wine for this celebration. And so God usually gives us more than we ask because his grace is so abundant and he wants to give it to us. One last thing is that we see the close connection in this episode of Mary and Jesus. In fact, in John's Gospel, he never refers to her as Mary. He always calls her the mother of Jesus, showing that they are so intimately united. And we see how closely united they are because it doesn't take too many words between the two of them to resolve the situation. And we see also here that Mary has maternal solicitude, maternal love for people. No one went to Mary and said, hey, can you do something? She saw this and said, I want to do something. And then she went to her son, and he fulfilled the request. And so we too can know that Mary is looking out for us like a mother, and that she will take our requests to Jesus, and that he will answer those. Of course, we can request it straight from him, but it always is good to have different options and ways in which we can ask God to answer our prayers. And so this little scene of the wedding feast at Cana can teach us about prayer. And so I hope that you know, when we pray, we have faith, we ask in a simple way, we listen, and we rejoice that God is so good to us and answers our prayers.